Hi, and welcome back to Girl Talk. We're with Barry Edwards. We're at Island Tire, which is always fun. And today, we're going to talk about a couple of things. We walked in to do a show on sounds, but we're going to table that one and actually collect some sounds.
We're going to try to collect a few examples rather than describing as a clink versus a clank.
Exactly. Yeah, we were like, no, let's collect them. What we decided we were going to talk about today, though, that I think will be really fun, are myths and facts. And we've actually spent about 30 minutes talking about myths and facts right now. And I think,
mostly about her car.
Yeah, mostly about, exactly. Well, you know, I grew up in the era where after 50,000 miles, you traded in your car.
Well, that was about the normal lifespan of a car. If it lasted 100,000 miles, it was pretty much worn out.
And now we were talking about, I have 162,000 miles on my car, and you've got on one of yours
270.
Why?
1,000.
What's the difference? How can our cars run so more efficiently?
It's a combination of things. From an efficiency standpoint, it's really advances in engineering. Cars weigh a whole lot less.
Okay.
The engines are much more fuel efficient. You've had a lot of improvements in metallurgy and engineering to be able to make a lighter engine, something that will get a lot better mileage. You know, for example, a car that was built in the 60s, a four-door passenger car might weigh over 6,000 pounds.
Oh my gosh.
Same vehicle today might weigh 2,800 to 3,200, so it doesn't require as large an engine.
All right.
The engines themselves, they've made a lot of improvements, things like fuel injection rather than carbureted engines.
Okay.
They get much better mileage, but to do that, they also use much tighter tolerances. And so that's why you can have now a 1.8 or a 2.3 liter engine, whereas a 350 is about a 5.7. It's a big engine.
Okay.
You just don't need an engine that large,
That
to propel most smaller cars. So you can make a car last longer. They've also gotten much more proactive about recommending and specifying maintenance. And that's
Okay, and that's what I wanted to ask. Myth or fact? I have to get my oil changed every 3,000 miles. In my world, that was just kind of protocol.
That's a myth.
Okay.
It's not a bad rule of thumb, but the first place to look is the owner's manual. The owner's manual, they're very specific. They used to be relatively generic.
Okay.
On every car you get, they will have a very specific maintenance recommendation. If you can't find your owner's manual or it's difficult, we can also look up online through All Data. It's a database that's open only to shops and dealerships, but to look at what are all of the recommended maintenance intervals, not just for oil. The other thing that can affect distance between oil changes is the type of oil, if it's conventional versus synthetic.
And I'm laughing because basically what brought up this entire myth-fact discussion today was talking about my car or your car or anyone's car. I just had no idea that my owner's manual
It'll tell you exactly.
was my go-to. And the other thing is, and I'm just speaking from experience, coming to you, when I didn't know my owner's manual was going to tell me, you looked it up online and basically said, here is the protocol.
Yeah.
And that was so helpful.
Well, and there's no one maintenance schedule that works for every single vehicle because the differences in the engine, whether that's an automatic versus a manual transmission.
Okay.
So that's why you look at those things. Some vehicles you need to change the transmission fluids. Some engines have timing belts. Those have to be replaced. Some of them as low as every 60,000 miles up to some of them not. For every 105,000 miles.
And I know one of the things that you said specifically was that we've got people that are so gracious to wait while we're actually taping this, which is probably here for their maintenance also. Is changing the oil one of the main things that you need to do? Myth or fact, I need to rotate my tires regularly?
Well, it is a fact if you want to have your tires last. If you don't mind wearing out a set of tires every 30,000, 40,000 miles, don't rotate them and we'll sell you another set. But
why is it so important to rotate them? What is it about the rotation? Is it just the way the weight is distributed?
well, it's a combination of things. Think about this. On your car, your
Okay.
front tires turn. The engine is also located in the front. So you've got more weight on the front of the vehicle.
Okay.
Those tires turn as you're going down the road around a curve. And what will end up happening is it will grind down that edge.
Okay. All right.
And so you want to rotate those tires because the back tires are always going straight. They don't turn.
I never even thought about that.
That way you're evening out the wear. Otherwise, on a vehicle that never gets the tires rotated, even if it's in perfect alignment, the front tires will typically wear out faster
More
than the back
quickly.
on a passenger car. On like a vehicle that's used for towing, because you end up putting a lot more weight on the back end of the vehicle, you may wear that down.
Myth or fact, real quickly, I guess, cars that now are driven by computers are more likely to require more maintenance.
Probably a myth.
Okay.
Basically all vehicles require some level of maintenance. A computerized vehicle may not require as frequent a tune-ups, but the fluid changes, things like that, fluids still break down over a period of time. Doesn't matter if it's computer controlled or a regular one. So you still need to take care of the car and follow the maintenance
Period.
recommendations.
So the bottom line, here's our takeaway today with Barry Edwards at Island Tire. It's that maintenance manual that we keep tucked away in the envelope.
The owner's manual.
The owner's manual is probably the most important piece of data that you have with that car.
And if you can't find it there, we can look it up and be happy to show it. You can also look on our website. We've got a number of video clips that can explain a lot of things.
Oh, I love it. Thank you so much for joining us.
You're
We want to
welcome.
thank all of you for joining us here on Girl Talk. Have a great day.